Hey up everyone, welcome back. This one again is a combination of two wars. I'll just start letting it play out. Um, so first up we had GT40 and then we had XK9. There's a couple of recordings actually missing. Must have just forgot to set off the recording. But yeah, so um, starting off we've got GT40. I've got a Moore and a Warlock in section 1, and then a Sauron, and there was also a Mysterio in section 2. Um, I forgot to record the Mysterio. I could have sworn I'd done so, but I guess not. But yeah, so just up against Moore here. There's nothing really to worry about because we've got the Surface Energy making us completely buff immune. So there's literally no way that he can get the Unstoppable, he can nullify anything. And even if he did, we've got the Tactic on us. I'm just staying far away, making sure not to hit him whilst that faults in, and whilst I won't take any degen damage, it's just easier to not do so. But yeah, so no crit on the Hulk SB2. Never seem to get them, even with the crit stat focus. But yeah, so just a really nice, easy fight to start off this war. And next up we have Warlock. I'm going to be using Surfer. I didn't play this optimally at all. I should have knocked him down way more than I should have. That start was a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Probably should have parried first. But yeah, so this one's fairly simple, just with Surfer just want to get up all of his buffs. And yeah, he is tactics, so knocking down Warlock will actually put on the Unstoppable here. I was just trying to safely get the dexterity off without running the risk of being hit by the Unstoppable, and there I deliberately threw the SB1 into his block because I knew that I'd have enough space to be safe, whilst also being able to get all of my Fury buffs. So yeah, this one was just a nice, easy fight. Definitely could have played it a lot better, but you know, it is what it is. Just start to heavy to get up the additional buff, and there's absolutely nothing that can go wrong here now. I just need to bait out the SB2, and that'll be that fight done. So, whilst I just let these next couple of fights play out, because there's not really much to say about them, they're just fairly straightforward stuff. Just wanted to talk about some content that I've got coming. I'm gonna have a video out shortly of a solo of Jabari. I know that Bottom of Agony isn't the most relevant piece of content anymore, but to some people, and all the vids have come out. But it's good. It's a cool little solo I want to show off. And with the announcement of the Epoch or Epic, I should have a couple of videos out in regards to that. In addition to my first R4 as well. I've already decided who it's going to be. Those of you who know me well will probably be able to guess who it is. I've already talked with my officer over it, and he was more than happy to have it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to the piece of content as well. I love those sorts of fights. Yeah, they can be annoying at times and don't always go correctly, but they're really good fun, and it's going to be a really nice little interesting challenge to just figure it all out. Oh, so I must have actually just had it in the one recording as well, so I do actually have the Mysterio fight here. Maybe that's the same with the other video as well. Usually I record them individually, so that's possibly what threw me off. But yeah, so got my first R4 coming in a couple of weeks, and possibly a second one following that. So obviously the one I want to do will be gem dependent, but even if I don't manage to get the correct gem, I will be at 2.5 T7Bs. So it shouldn't be too long until I can get the one that I really want to do out there. So yeah, I should have a couple of videos coming out in hopefully the next month or so. Just kind of depends on if the Valentine's Day sale mentioned sells the catalyst as a whole or in fragments, and whether it's a cheap enough cost that I can pick it up. But yeah, should definitely have at least one R4 video coming out in the next month, hopefully a second one as well. So yeah, just make sure that you are subscribed to watch out for that. Yeah, Mysterio being annoying as ever with his heavy. Luckily we're poison immune and got the invulns on. Another SB2 again, and another random heavy. But yeah, Even with taking those hits, I wasn't too worried. Not really sure why I went in there, but yeah. SP1 should finish off this fight, and that will be the War versus GT40. So that was War 5, and now we've got War 6, which I've just finished playing out and recording. So I'm now up to date. First up, we got Deathless She-Hulk, who I will say is a contender for my first R4. She's just got a boatload of utility and damage, and I just really enjoy playing her. So yeah, there's definitely several options that I'm considering for the first R4, but a lot of it is going to depend on what that gem ends up being. So yeah, just punishing his specials, keeping the infestation paused, and again, there's no real risk of any death cropping up here. Was a little caught out by that, what the trauma just suddenly took him below that 5% and triggered the root. But yeah, next up we've got Prowler. I took Prowler on a mini boss node in a previous war with Deathless She-Hulk, so I kind of know it's different nodes, but it's still the same fight at the end of the day. Just want to make sure I've got that fear on at all times. My guard got broken now. I'm not really sure whether I accidentally dropped the block or what, but yeah. Just make sure we got that fear on from the heavy so that we can completely ignore his falter, and that's just a really nice bit of utility. Yeah, it does get screwed over by some nodes, but it's just a nice additional falter counter to have, and it's such an easy process to get it on as well. Just the first hit of the heavy, getting it on, and yeah, so looking forward to the potential of having an R4 Deathless She-Hulk. So yeah, that's that first fight done, and next up we've got who's up next? I've just done this one, I can't even remember. There'll be some fight with Sim Supreme. Oh, that's it, it's Cersei. So yeah, we've got a Cersei and then a Destroyer and then a Serpent left over. And so another thing that kind of happened recently was obviously the power back changes. I didn't know about these, but at the same time, I'm not particularly surprised. They've been too dominant in a way for so long. It's just it's trivialized certain champions and stuff in war, and whilst I am sad that it has kind of not necessarily ruined, but lowered the chances of some champions being as applicable as they were before, like Professor X, who I do think is probably the hardest hit by this. The main reason why I'm actually excited for the change is, as you've seen in all my videos, I get a lot of Sim Supreme assignments, and the main issue with Sim Supreme is between the power backs and MD and Symbiote's own power gain, you very often end up at a special 3 when you don't want to be. A perfect example of this is the Serpent later on. I wanted to throw so many more SB2s towards the end, and I just couldn't. And in theory, I will caveat with it with that, these changes should mean that wouldn't happen. Champions like Ghost or Sunspot, you won't be sent to an SB3 when you want to throw off another SB2. So I definitely don't think it's the end of the world for every champion. It's just going to require some different strategies going forward than have been used so far. But yeah, this certified was just a little annoying, just couldn't quite get it down. Spent too long trying to play around the what's it called? Hazard Shift. But yeah, so then we've got Destroyer. No, I didn't end up recording Destroyer. I must have stopped recording and I hadn't realised. But yeah, so this is exactly the Serpent matchup that I'm on about. There is a point where I get into the rotation I want to be in, which is after the SB3 I'm just looping SB2s, but after a short while, because the damage from the armor breaks, I end up just getting too much power, and it ends up me being in a cycle of looping SP3s. Here I was just double checking the nodes. I couldn't remember if this was the one I open one. It's not. But yeah, so you'll see here, this is the start of this cycle, and this is the cycle that I'm hoping to see once the power back changes have happened. Like, we should just stay below an SP2, and that shouldn't happen where we get sent to an SP3. Now, don't get me wrong, the Special 3, when you've got all the armor breaks up, it hits really hard, and it's really good because the longer you're in a matchup with Serpent, the more likely something is going to go wrong. But then it's just a case of we keep on going back to them, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, I much prefer having the option of the SP2s available to just manage his power gain during his death immunity better. But yeah, I'm just getting sent to Special 3 after Special 3 without having any way of being able to control it. Which is a little annoying, but, you know, at the end of the day, a solo is a solo. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the epic. Got some really good rewards in there. I'll probably do a video per path, or I might just do an overview. If I find some cool matchups, I'll do some videos on that. But yeah, really looking forward to it. So yeah, even the SP3 here, but we had the protection from our Special 3, so just mitigating a lot of that damage, and there we go. Serpent all done and dusted. So yeah, that does it for these two wars, so I will see you in the next one. Cheers!